All right, I'm going to pass this around. I just want right now for you to say your name and what SL group you are part of.
My name is Grace Chang, and I'm in Global.
I'm Sydney Cunning and SL Latinos.
I'm Ethan, part of Smith SL.
I'm Mark, part of Global. We're Global Strong.
All right, so I want to start by just asking, in what ways have you guys served within SL in your time here?
I guess I have the mic. I think I've been able to be a part of the serve days here and also go on a summer trip with Gen Sen last year, so that's one way with SL.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did a USP trip like a year and a half ago, something like that, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, let's go. And I also did Gen Sen this summer, so Gen Sen. Yeah, and I did Serve LA here and there for the past 2 years.
All of LA, that's awesome.
I have had the privilege of being able to go on 2 ISP trips. So my sophomore year I went to Thailand, and then this past summer I got to go to Bangladesh. So ISP, and then I also did Gen Sen this past summer as well with Ethan.
Gen Senders, let's go. I have done a few Serve LA trips, and then I've also been on 2 USPs to Clarkston, Atlanta, Georgia, and then Ashland, Kentucky.
That's cool. So if you've noticed on the decals on the ground, it's something Morgan's talked about is how service, we have different circles. So we have really, we can serve people close to us, we can serve people far away. I wanted to ask, how has serving people further away impacted the way you serve like closer to home?
Yeah, I think it really brings, like, we can see it in a big picture. Like, instead of skipping circles, we start from, who are the people around me? My roommates, how can I serve them? And then how do I serve my church after that? And then how do I serve CBU or all of Riverside?
Yeah.
So going in steps.
Bear with me. This might be a long answer. So when I was in Thailand, I learned a lot about feet. Yeah.
That's exactly where I thought this was going.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Grace.
Just love it.
But yeah, so like in Thai culture, feet are actually considered like the dirtiest part of the body because they believe like the spirit lives in like the head. So like up here. Oh, the mic went up. Anyway.
The head is up here.
The head is up. Yes, the head is up there. You guys get the picture. But so anything furthest away from the body would be dirtier. So feet being the dirtiest. And I remember I was very humbled when I was abroad in Thailand when my team leader and my student team leader, Cindy Bose and Yazzie Vizan, who aren't here right now, but I love them and they're great. They surprised my team with cleaning our feet. And for me, it was just such a picture of Christ in that moment, right? We think of, God bless you, whoever that was. Just such a picture of Christ, right? Like we read about in John 13, like Jesus at the Last Supper, right? This picture of a king, right? God of the universe on his knees, kneeling, washing his disciples' feet. So for me, all that is to say is like, it has made me, I was humbled by their humility. So it's made me want to be more humble in how I serve in my day-to-day.
That's cool.
Yeah. So on Grace's and I's trip to Clarkston, Georgia, we helped refugees with a lot of things like helping with their kids and taking care of them and building friendships that way. But that whole trip kind of led me to be like, man, I can serve not just people, but people that are different than I am. That was something that I've learned. Like I just become a Christian like a year before, and that was something that I was learning in that process. And so, yeah, serving in places in different contexts, like even in those ways where you're like, wow, I can actually show Christ's love to everyone and not just people that are like me or like-minded. So that's something that I took away.
Yeah. I think on my Gen Sen trip, we were able to experience serving on Skid Row. And I think at first my heart was to like share the gospel. Like that's why I felt like I was going on a trip. But while there, I learned that meeting needs looked a little different. It was like meeting the physical first. And then you might have an opportunity to share a gospel in that. But they had a different need at the moment.
Yeah. How have you seen? So we talk a lot about making disciples and helping people grow spiritually. How have you seen service kind of attached or integrated into discipleship?
Yeah. I think in my discipleship relationship, I was invited to Jensen to be on the trip with him. So being invitational and doing life with one another has been one way I think I've been served.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Discipleship is definitely like meant to be life on life, and it's a sort of relationship of like perpetual love where one is trying to lead another as they all walk towards Christ, and so as both like the follower and the leader try to love one another, they both can serve one another in many ways, and something that's like one way that I've tried to show love. I'm not perfect at it, but is to like ask to pray for other people, ask if they have needs I can fulfill, and even pray for them when they don't ask for it. So that's something.
That's good.
That's good. Sorry, I just had to say that. Okay, so for me, I think the way in which I've seen service attached to discipleship is through how, just like in being there for people and meeting people where they're at, they're a lot more likely, I think, to want to be discipled. Like, you could share the gospel with someone and praise the Lord, like that's amazing. But if you're not willing to do life with them and meet them where they're at, like I think they'd be a lot less likely to be discipled. I think that's a thought that I have.
Awesome.
Yeah, wow, a lot has been said, and I agree with all of it. I think, going off of that, service and discipleship are intertwined. I don't think you can do one without doing the other.
Yeah.
So you serve because you disciple, and you disciple because you serve, sort of thing.
She's like, oh, everybody else has said so. And then she, boom. That was good. Okay, here's the last question. Just really simple. We've got CBU Serves, just a week of service is what we're promoting that starts here and then it goes into a lifestyle of service. What would you want students to learn during this week of focusing, thinking about service?
Just that it's really tangible. Like, you don't, it's not a necessity to like go overseas first. Like, it can start wherever you are.
That's good.
In your house, with your family, whoever you live with.
Bars, absolute bars. Literally. No, you're so welcome. Y'all, I'm so nervous right now. It's fine. Thank you so much, whoever that was. Thank you. I would definitely agree with Grace in that it's something that I think, for me, I think if you would have asked me this question a couple years ago, I would have said, oh, service is just something that you do overseas. Like, it's labor intensive. It's something that, you're breaking your back to do. But truth be told, it's like service can be something that's a lot more tangible. Like you said, like it can be how you're talking about washing your roommate's dishes or lending someone a hug if they're not doing good. Like, it can be a lot more tangible in that way. But I definitely do think that, being nervous is not great. I definitely do think that it's connected because, like I said, I think, and I mean, go back to like Matthew 20:28, right? Like, for the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve. Like, it's how we're able to show Christ likeness to people. So then we're able to then be in a better place to share the gospel, which then means that we're in a better place to disciple.
So good.
Yeah, I'd say, service is, I think there's a lot of us, that want to learn how to, like, love other people better. Or even, like, we want to love other people better, and that's because we're not yet at the heart posture where we do love people at the capacity that we want to. Service is, I think, yes, a behavior, but that is tied to a motive as well. And if you serve and you continue to do so, even if it's against like what you feel like, God can use that and grow your heart to love others more. I've noticed in my life for sure, like in obedience to Christ, I've served others when I haven't felt like it, and God has used that to transform my heart to be more like His. And so, like, yeah, as for, I guess, the CBU and the rest of the CBU community, even if you don't feel like serving another person, think first how Christ served you and think about what he's done for you. And then just have an open ear to listen to his calling for you to serve other people around you.
I really like how it almost feels like you're exercising a muscle and you're saying like, yeah, just start serving and then you'll grow that muscle and you'll grow that heart. I love it.
Yeah, I think mine's gonna be a little more practical. You guys did amazing. I think something I've learned throughout the last few serve days that we did was having eyes for others that might not even be there. There would be homeless people stuffed there, and some of the girls in the group would be like, let's just leave it. Like, they might have left it there on purpose. So I think in saying that, like, being intentional about seeing others' patterns and needs. Like, my roommates leave their Britas unfilled all the time. So I could be better about filling that up for them and putting it in the fridge. I spilled a guy's Celsius on his computer the other day. I could bring him a Celsius because I've seen him drink them before.
And maybe a computer, you know, too.
Maybe a new computer if I could afford it. I'm gonna have to settle for the Celsius, but
Celsius is a good place to start. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Hey, let's give it up for these guys. Thank you so much.